Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lazy Universe, and I'm white and nerdy. Sometimes I despise doing this job. Why? No reason. No specific reason. It's just that, you know, even though it got copyright claimed back in February and I meant to review it in February, people wanted me to review Tom and Jerry the movie. Now, I talked about that I was a fan of Scooby-Doo growing up, and I was just as big as a fan of Tom and Jerry growing up. And when I heard about this movie being made, I was kind of excited for it. But what's bad about a film is that sometimes you do hear the criticism, bad, good, but sometimes people are still like, yeah, but the movie still could be good. This movie had nothing said about it as far as I know. There are reviews of it that exist online, none that I've seen, but none that I was like, okay, I'm gonna be watching this review of it. Nope. I just decided that before Christmas time that I would pick up this movie and watch it and see if it would make a good review. To my disappointment, I didn't find out that this movie was one of the worst movies ever made. Now I see why people have picked this movie because they thought, oh, it'd be funny to see Lazy Universe pissed off. Oh, you're going to see me get pissed off. Because this was me the entire time I was watching this movie. So, this is my review of Tom and Jerry, the 2021, I think, movie. And this is my opinions, thoughts, and also technically review of this piece of shit movie. So this is my opinion and my review of the newest Tom and Jerry movie, or newest in quotation marks, and my own opinions and thoughts on this piece of shit fucking stupid movie. I suppose there is some spoilers to be had in this film, but not really, but still I'm just gonna say spoilers for some people that might have this movie spoiled for them. There is one thing I'm gonna have to complain about already, and I will kind of get more into it later on in the film, is how they try to combine animation and live action. For something like Space Jam or even Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it blends together so well that you still enjoy the movie for what it's worth. Here, they use so much CG just to put everything together, and you can tell, and it doesn't look good. It looks more sloppy than anything else. And that really hurts the film more than it helps it. You could have made this film completely animated and nobody would probably complain about it. But the fact that they were trying to combine Tom and Jerry and put them in a real life setting, it doesn't make the film better. It in fact makes it worse. I mean, I applaud that Tom and Jerry don't have a voice in this version, unlike the original animated Tom and Jerry the movie where they had voice actors. Here, they're completely silent characters, just like in the cartoon, more or less, except if Tom screams. So it's more or less trying to go back to basically creating it to be different, but this just doesn't feel like a Tom and Jerry movie. It feels more like a romance comedy that someone had, and then they just threw Tom and Jerry into the mixture sort of at last minute. For a film like this, it just doesn't work. The animation and live action combined just doesn't necessarily seem to work for a film like this, even though they tried their best. So what sucks is that they showed an all-star cast to be in this movie, and that kind of hinders it because a lot of the cast members are doing a really good, fantastic job. This, again, just mostly feels like a romance comedy, and then somebody went, this doesn't make the film sell it well enough. Let's instead use a romance comedy plot. And you know what the worst part is? That fucker got paid. That's the worst part. That son of a bitch who wrote this movie got paid for this. And you choose a pretty good all-star comedy cast. Corey Grace Moretz, Ken Jeong, Michael Pena, Except what really sucks in this film is that you give them space to move. They are the greatest comedy actors that has ever, worked in the realm of comedy. Michael Pena and Ken Jeong especially. Chloe Grace Moretz is just brilliant in anything that she's in, and I'll talk about her a little bit more later. But, you have like comedy superstars like Michael Pena and Ken Jeong, but you don't let them go anywhere, especially Ken Jeong, who I know is hysterical and is hilarious. The film never really establishes how funny that Ken Jeong can be. And Michael Pena is hysterical sometimes if you let him get the free range. And in this movie, they really batter down upon this team, so to speak, this comedy duo, and go, yeah, you know that you're supposed to be funny? You're not going to be funny. There is one running gag in this, which I suppose is for younger kids, because this is for children, I suppose. And I like all different forms of comedy. There are some that I catch myself actually laughing at, even if it's made for kids. For example, like SpongeBob SquarePants, or even The Amazing World of Gumball, or even Big City Greens can make me laugh. In this movie, there is a repetition of a poop joke that goes nowhere. They repeat it twice, and it wasn't even funny the first time. So what made you think it was going to be funny the second time? I don't like how this kind of combines of like, oh yeah, in this world, the pets are all animated. It makes no fucking sense to do that, whereas in like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, we know that the cartoon world exists and that toons and humans basically coexist together. In Space Jam, we know that Michael Jordan was pulled into the Looney Tunes world, or Warner Brothers land, so he could play in a basketball game against intergalactic aliens. Here, is there any point to having the animals being animated and the people in live action? Not so much, no. But the saving grace of this movie is not just Michael Pena and Ken Jeong, who are stellar in this. It actually comes down to one of my favorite actresses ever, and that is Chloe Grace Moretz in the lead role. I love Chloe Grace Moretz. She's cute, she's adorable, she's actually beautiful, and in this realm, she does very good at holding her own character and making it her own. And I love the fact that she's delivering laundry and then just happens to stumble across Tom and Jerry as Tom is chasing Jerry across the street for his own reasons. So I guess at the end of Kick-Ass 2, we found out where Hit Girl was going. She was going to New York City to deliver laundry and met up with Tom and Jerry. And somehow that analogy works. But she traded in her awesome purple motorcycle for a bike. Go figure. But that's not the strangest thing that ends up happening in this film. Oh no. The stupid story that has to do with Ben, Mary, and Padma, who I don't know if that actually exists for a real couple. Like, what is it, Kate and Prince Harry or whoever it is. I don't know if that is a parody of something, if it actually exists. I have no idea. No, that's not the strangest thing that they can bring in. That's not even, the amazing Chloe Grace Moretz being in this film. Not even reducing Ken Jeong and Michael Pena, two very famous, funny comedians, down to basically a piece of dog shit on the side of the road. Nope. Would you believe me if I said that this film uses Batman references? For some weird reason, and I think it was because the Batman was coming out around the time, this film uses Batman jokes and references. They reference the Dark Knight, and then they reference the 1989 cult classic Batman. Movie. Tom and Jerry the movie referenced Batman twice. Don't believe me? I'll let the footage speak for itself, why don't we?
Huh? It's got everything. Built-in stereo, but be careful, those seats are very flammable. on saving the city again.
Batman, what are you doing?
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I'm awesome.
Tom and Jerry the movie is just one of the worst animated live-action movies ever made. You can watch Space Jam or Who Framed Roger Rabbit and you would get more enjoyment out of the two than watching this mess and this disaster, because Tom and Jerry the movie, especially in the animation department, really does feel out of place. It doesn't match well the animation plus the live action parts. It really doesn't add up as good as either Space Jam or even Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There is no point in seeing this movie, even if you have children, or I'm not a father or even an uncle by this point, but even if I was, I would tell them no. I'd rather put on like SpongeBob SquarePants the movie or something that is remotely entertaining than this piece of shit. So, how do I feel about Tom and Jerry the movie? It is just one of the worst films ever, especially animation live action movies. It's one of the worst. But what sucks is that it had such a great acting department that ended up working for this film, but everything else, this film just isn't. It tries to be as good as the other films that I have mentioned, and yet it failed in that department, and it fails hard on it. So, Tom and Jerry the movie for me is just one of the worst films that I've ever seen, and with Tom and Jerry in it, you'd expect something entertaining, but instead you get something downright fucking boring. I don't know, how do you guys feel about it? Do you like Tom and Jerry the movie? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below, because I really do think that this is one of the worst films I've ever seen this year. And this comes from a big old school Tom and Jerry fan that, yeah, this movie was just one of the worst that I've ever seen, and I do not want to see another film like it ever again. Tom and Jerry the movie is an outright outsold movie that basically is perfect for its quality. It's a piece of shit movie that tried to cash in on something old school and nostalgic. But unlike Scoob, which have done it pretty well in my opinion, this one really does bite the dust. And it really does suck whatever fun factor that was in this movie straight out of this movie. And that is why my Funko Pop rating of Tom and Jerry the movie is gonna have to be a Dracula. Not because it's legendary, not because of the great performances, and not because it's a great iconic monster. Oh no. This really, like a vampire, or like Count Dracula himself, will suck whatever fun factor that you will find in this movie straight out of you. So my Funko Pop rating of Tom and Jerry is gonna have to be a Dracula. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. And let me know what you guys think about Tom and Jerry the movie. And also, yes, I might have used video game music just to get away from the fucking copyright. If in case you're wondering, I use video game music from Call of Duty 3. So I could try to avoid a copyright strike, because I think the music in this is heavily copyrighted. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I've been Lazy Universe, I've been Nerdy, keep getting on. And this has been a Lazy Universe movie review. Thank you so much for watching. If there is a movie that you'd like to see me review, please put it in the comments down below, and maybe it will be featured on this channel. But I've been Lazy Universe, I've been Nerdy, keep eking on, and until next time guys, and until my next review, take care.